So, yesterday I went over the things that I would miss, or will not miss, excuse me. And today I'm going to go over the things that I will miss, or actually more along the lines of things that I actually liked while I was there. So the first thing would be that all the hard work of all the staff at the temple. It was unbelievable. I mean, there was like 480 of us and about 20 of them. So just imagine, they were just constantly going and going and going, and they did a wonderful job. They did a great job. Everybody passed. Okay. The next thing would be the temple itself. It's just gorgeous. You walk in, and there's these 3 great big statues of the Buddha, and they're like 16 feet tall. And they are white and gold, and they sit in the back. And then there's an altar in front of it. It's about 30 feet long. It's covered in flowers, and they change the flowers every single day. And then along the sides, there's 2 very long brass reliefs of the Buddha and other bodhisattvas. And then along the walls going this way are little golden Buddhas. And if they're backlit, they're like lights. And if you go up and you look at them, the Buddhas watch you. If you go to the left, they go to the left. If you go to the right, they go to the right. And there's like 400 of the just little lights. They're only about this big, but they're all in a row. And it's just gorgeous. Okay? So that I will miss. Orange lights everywhere. If you walk outside the temple, it's a courtyard. What they've got is they got strings of lights, and they look like pumpkins. All right? But the pumpkins are lit up from in the inside, and they've got writing on the outside, and they're just all over the place. There's like 500 of them. And one morning I looked, and I noticed like 3 of the lights were out. The next morning, they were all fixed. Everything was fixed. It was just, and they kept it that way all the time. So that was great. Venerable Hongshen's kindness. She is a yeah, she's a bodhisattva too, but she's a bhikshuni in Taiwan that sponsors us, that helps us to get over there. And so she was there all the time. She was there to greet me. She was there when I left. She helped me buy things for the that needed for the Abbey. She was just great. They actually brought us some food. They brought us 6 loaves of bread about the second week we were there. So we put it on the offering table for everybody to have. In like 4 hours, everything was gone. Just, they scarfed it. Everyone's appreciation and enthusiasm of monastics. In Taiwan, if you're a monastic and you're out and about, I mean, I'm just talking about the lay people who are out in the street. They go, oh, Amitofu, Amitofu, Amitofu all the time. And they're just so happy to see you, okay? I mean, it's just wonderful. Lots of practice for the ceremonies. I really appreciated that because we got a chance to go in there, and they asked us the questions in Chinese, but we could give them the answers in Chinese. So we make sure everything was hunky-dory, good to go. If you got it wrong, they weren't angry or anything. They just said, okay, you got to do it this way. You got to do it this way. Okay. So that was, I appreciated that a lot because, Okay, fish in a bowl. If you go into the temple, there's these great big bowls, about yay big. They're made of cement, they're outside, and they've got little fish in them. So you used to stand there and chant to the fish, Om Mani Padme Hum. That was how I just relaxed and waited for everything to start, waited for everybody to get in the temple. I'm just standing there going, Om Mani Padme Hum. So the fish in the bowl, they got lots of mantras sung to them, so they were good to go. Everybody thought it was crazy, but yeah. Especially if it was raining when I was doing that. They have this habit of after lunch, everybody goes and lays down and they go to sleep. I appreciated that because everybody was asleep so I could do what I wanted to. So I didn't have people going, you got to lay down, because they were already laid down. They didn't know whether I was up and about or whatever, so I appreciated that. The weather, it was rainy, but I mean, it's winter, let's be reasonable. It was about 60 degrees all the time. Sometimes it got up to 70. Sometimes it went down to like 54, but it was great, just perfect weather. Because it could have been really, really hot or really, really cold, and it wasn't. Prostrations and meditations in the dark. I know I'm not a big fan of electric lights, okay? So I like dark. So we would go into the temple at about 7:45 at night, and they would turn out all the lights and just light up the statues and the lights on the side. And I was in an area where there was no lights, so it was awesome. And we do prostrations, the Chinese kind, where you go down, you stay down for a little bit, you know, and then get up, and then you, about a minute later, you go down, okay, stay down for a little bit and get up. We did that for half an hour, and then we'd sit down and do meditations for a half an hour, and then we'd get up and do some more prostrations for about a half an hour. And then they turn on all the lights, boo hiss. And then, but they hand out mail. Okay, because people, well, it's a temple, you know, most of the people were from Taiwan, so their parents or whatever would come and give them gifts, so they'd hand them out at night. So it was great. Omitofo. The big thing in Taiwan and China, I guess, is you say Amitofo. That is a blessing. It's a way to say yes, it's a way to say no, it's a way to say hello, it's a way to say goodbye, but it's a blessing. You know, you say Amitofo. Well, about a week before it was time to leave, they changed it. They decided that it wasn't going to be Amitofo, it was going to be Omitofo. And it was a running joke for everybody throughout the entire thing. I mean, the instructors would get up on the platform and go, Amitofo. No, wait a minute, Omitofo. And everyone would just crack up laughing. I mean, it was great, you know. So I'll miss Omitofo. The friendliness of the people. I'm talking about the people that are in the cities and in Taiwan itself. I'm going to tell you about one of the things we did. We did a alms walk. After we got our alms bowl, what it was is they took all of us, 480, plus all the staff members, and since we were in a city, we went out for a walk for about 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. Now the day before, they had gotten this little truck. They put loudspeakers on, so they went around the city and they told everybody we were this temple was going to go on an alms walk. And, you know, whatever you wanted to do. So even before we got out of the temple itself, people were coming up and throwing money into the bowl. Everybody's bowl. And the entire way going out and about, the entire way, people were standing there on the side of the streets, throwing money into everybody's bowl. Throw money into, they got great big bags, throwing money in, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, Amitofo, 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 Amitofo. So it was like awesome. The temple itself was trying to raise money for an emergency vehicle. Now I thought that they meant an extra vehicle, you know, to be used for emergency. Nah, they meant an ambulance. They have an ambulance sitting in their temple courtyard right now, which they bought. They raised $200,000. Now it's Taiwanese dollars, okay? So that equals out to about 60,000 US dollars in 2 hours work. Just going out and about. That's the Taiwanese people. They are so happy about that. And as we were walking, you know, people would be going, Amitofo, 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 throwing money into the bowl. But if they happened to stop and look up and look at me, because I was a foreigner, if you will, they got a great big smile on their face. Oh, Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo. it was wonderful, you know. And you got that wherever you went in Taiwan. So that was great. Things I will miss is the people I was with. There was Wei Xing, who was in front of me all the time, and Wei Wei, who was in back of me all the time, and the fearless leader. She was, I mean, they went out of their ways to help me. And the other thing that I will miss is the laughter. There was just an awful lot of laughter going on there. So, that's my experience in Taiwan. However, there is one other thing I would like to tell you about. The picture taking. We went out to take a picture. It was the day after we got done the second platform, which is a big Shuni platform, which is the one everybody is about. So everybody was done. Everybody was a big Shuni. So they took us to a park. Go out. You walk out of the temple, and you go down about half a mile, and there's this great big park. It was a beautiful day outside. I mean, it had been raining for like 7 days straight, and finally we got a beautiful day, and it just happened to be the day where we're going to take the picture. So we got down to the park, and they got these long bent bleachers, and they get us where they want us. They get us on there, and there's this guy with the camera who's about 20 yards from us, and he's got an assistant. And for about half an hour, he's going, go, 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 ho, 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 ho. Go, 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 go. I mean, it's just the funniest thing you ever saw. And his assistant's up there going like this. This one, yeah, okay, we'll turn this one, then go walk to the next one. And 480 people, come on now. It took an awful long time. I mean, it was like 70 degrees, but the weather was beautiful. 70 degrees, you know, there was this dog who was walking around. He was having a grand old time. They had all the masters there because we had just got done the ceremony, so they stuck around for the pictures. They put them down in the front and took all the pictures. And then they had all the men, the big shoes leave, and they did it with just the women. And put the women in, the female masters in front, and they took pictures of the women. It was great. It didn't work. For some reason, the pictures did not come out. So the very last day we were there, Sunday morning, they got us up late, which we all appreciated very much. We chanted for 20 minutes. We went to breakfast, and then they had us put on our good clothes again. You know, brown robes with the orange samgati, which is, you know, that's your good Sunday go-to-meeting clothes. So they took us and they took us and they gave us these straw hats, which they had given us for when we went on the alms walk. They put everybody in a straw hat. Don't ask me why. They just did. It was easier that way. You could be anonymous. So they put us back in the straw hats and they took us down to the park again. And they put us on the bleachers. Only the bleachers were pointed in the other direction this time. I don't know how they did that. Don't ask me. So the one guy who had been there doing this for 30 minutes, he wasn't there, but his assistant was there. So for another 20 minutes, she's going, go, 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 go. They get us all ready and everything, and okay, everybody take off your hats. Now the reason they had the hats on was because it was raining. Yeah. So we took the picture, and then we all walked back, and it was, okay, now it's time for the last ceremony, the third platform, and everybody's wet. And it was like, it was just happy. Yeah, good fun was had by all. So, I don't have any idea whether they came out or not, because it was the last day. Everybody was gone by that afternoon. So, we'll have to wait and see. So that's my experience in Taiwan. The only thing I have left to say is if you're ever in Taiwan, there's only one thing you have to remember to do. Smile and say, Ami Tofu.